Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while. I was in the worst reading slump of my life. I physically could not get myself to open up a book and read it. I literally felt like I was going crazy. However, I am finally out of it, and it is all thanks to one book, and that was This Vicious Dream by Stacia Stark. If you love romantasy books, you need to add this one to your TBR. I literally devoured it. It had the who did this to you trope, it had the one bed trope, it also had if you run, I will find you, which isn't really a trope, but I love reading it. And this releases on the 13th of May. I just had such a fun time reading it, and I need the next book immediately. Anyways, you've probably already guessed what we're doing by the title of today's video. I'm going to be picking my May TBR. Now, I did actually make myself a TBR in April, and obviously I didn't read them. And what I'm going to try and do is read the 6 books that I picked in April and then pick another 6 books today, because I have some catching up to do. So the first 6 books that I'll be adding to my TBR are The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, Riftborn by Greenwich and Lennox, Zodiac Academy Cursed Fates by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. Then I have All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata, Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage, and First Time Caller by BK Borison. So I'm hoping that I'll manage to get through all 12 books that I end up with today, because I'm pretty sure I'm behind my reading goal. And I know I shouldn't worry about that type of stuff. I feel like that just prevents you from wanting to read, but that moment where it says you are 2 books ahead of your reading goal honestly makes me feel so proud. Okay, let's move on and pick my first read. So the first prompt is Instagram chooses. There's the prompt. I don't know if you can see it, hopefully you can. I'm going to pick 2 books, quickly take a picture of them, post them on my story, and see which one we end up with, I guess. So I ended up picking 3 books because these are books that I struggle choosing between. Like, I want to read all of these, but I can't choose one specific one. So I'm gonna have Instagram make that decision for me. Help me pick my next read. So the Book of Azrael, City of Gods and Monsters, Reign of Shadows and Endings. There are the 3 options. I'm just going to post them, and then once I've picked the 5 other books, I will go back to my story and just pick whichever one has the most votes at that time. The next prompt is going to be a book that was gifted to me. I already know which one I'm going to pick. It is one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and it got sent to me, so technically it was a gift. And that is King of Envy by Anna Huang. She is one of my auto-buy authors. Whenever she releases a book, I will always read it within the first couple days of its release. And I've been very excited to read this one because I really wanted to read about Vuk and Ayana, especially since Vuk is the grumpy, quiet, mysterious type, and those are just the best. He had everything he could have wanted except her. Dangerous, powerful, reclusive, Vuk Markovich is notorious for shunning human interactions. The scarred billionaire rarely talks, and he has no interest in relationships outside his small but trusted circle. His only exception, her, the beauty to his beast, the object of his obsession. He saw her first, he wanted her first, but now she's engaged to his oldest friend, and the closer the wedding looms, the more he's torn between loyalty and desire. She should be his, and he might just risk it all to have her. Beautiful, successful, glamorous. To the world, supermodel Ayana Kadane leads the perfect life. Her career has skyrocketed, and she's engaged to one of New York's most eligible bachelors. What people don't know is that the engagement is only a business arrangement. He gets his inheritance when they marry. She gets the money she needs to leave her abusive agency. Pretending to be in love should be easy, until she finds herself increasingly drawn to her fiancé's enigmatic best man. Vuk thrills and terrifies her in equal measure. She knows she should stay away, but when her wedding is thrown into chaos, he's the only person who makes her feel safe, until his past catches up with them and threatens everything they love. That just gave me goosebumps. I am probably going to read this one as soon as I record this video. Out of the whole Kings of Sin series, this is probably the one I've been most excited for. So that is the second book. The third prompt is a pink book. I honestly, is it my sign to read Once Upon a Broken Heart? Because I feel like everyone and their mum has read that book. But I haven't read Caraval yet. Do I need to read that first? Because I constantly hear different things. Some people say you don't have to, but some people say that you have to. You know what? There's no harm in adding it to the TBR. So this is the third book. I've never actually read the back of it, so that is what I'm going to do. For as long as she can remember, Evangeline Fox has believed in happily ever after, until she learns that the love of her life is about to marry another and her dreams are shattered. Desperate to stop the wedding and heal her wounded heart, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic but wicked Prince of Hearts. In exchange for his help, he asks for 3 kisses, to be given at the time and place of his choosing. But after Evangeline's first promised kiss, she learns that bargaining with an immortal is a dangerous game, and that the Prince of Hearts wants far more from her than she pledged. He has plans for Evangeline, plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after or the most exquisite tragedy. I got this because everyone was saying such good things. I've never actually read what it's about, but I already know I'm going to love it because of the edits I've seen and the fan art. I think I am going to go with this because I don't have Caraval. I have the third book in the trilogy because it was on sale. I got it quite a few months ago, but I just don't see myself getting and reading Caraval because I've heard mixed things about it. However, if I ever do, I don't mind starting with this. I know this has spoilers in it, but oh well. Every time I read a book, I go into it with spoilers because TikTok somehow always manages to know what book I'm reading. And then the moment I go on TikTok, the first thing I see is a spoiler. Okay, the fourth prompt is a book that I've had for longer than a year. I actually have a lot of these books because when I tell you, around a year ago, I had the worst book buying problem ever. And it's gotten much better because this year I've only bought around 7 books, and that is including my monthly Fairy Loot subscription. But last year, when I tell you, I literally bought at least like 10 to 15 books a month. There was one time I bought around 32 in 1 month. I bought more books than there were days. And I was buying these books faster than I could read them. And that is how my TBR is like 300 books. But in my defense, I've read like 30% of the books I own, which I don't think is bad. Yeah. Anyways, the whole point is to pick a book. I know which one I'm going to pick. I'm going to go with This Woven Kingdom by Tahira Mafi. This is the same author of the Shatter Me series, but I have seen multiple videos on TikTok saying that this series is actually better than the Shatter Me series. And again, I have not read the blurb of this book. I do not know what it's about. I bought it simply because I love Tahira Mafi. Yeah. To all the world, Eliza is a disposable servant, never to be known for who she really is. The long-lost heir to an ancient Jinn kingdom. She is hunted always, forced to hide in plain sight, lest she expose herself to danger. Until one day, she makes a mistake. The Crown Prince Cameron has heard the prophecies. He knows of the fearsome monster promised to kill his king. Darkness is fast descending upon his empire, driving Cameron to desperately seek out its source. But as he grows ever more suspicious of the servant girl with the strange eyes, the more he learns about her and the harder it is to turn away. Even if falling for someone like Eliza means forfeiting everything he's ever known. This Woven Kingdom is a story of clashing empires, forbidden romance, and a long-forgotten queen, who must claw her way through darkness to reclaim her throne, rebuild her kingdom, and save her people from the half-lives they've been forced to live. Goosebumps. This sounds so good. I can't believe I haven't read this yet. I'm pretty sure I've had this for just over a year. I think I got it in like March last year. Oh, I can't wait to read this. I cannot wait. I do also want to read Watch Me by Tahira Mafi, so I need to get a prompt that will allow me to pick that. Okay, so is this the fourth one? I think this is 3. No, this is the 5th one. The 5th prompt is a book that is over 500 pages. I'm gonna see how many pages Watch Me has. Okay. No, this is definitely not 500 pages. No, it's only like 349. I could read Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh because that is definitely over 500 pages. But that is basically a 900-page book that guarantees to break your heart and make you sob. And I don't know if I'm in the mood for that. What other options do I have? I actually don't know because I don't know. Maybe I should read Powerless by Lauren Roberts because Fearless recently came out, and because of that it's all over my For You page, and I read the first like 70 pages of Powerless and I was loving it. I think I was just in the mood for a different book. And I do kind of want to go back to it because everyone's talking about the series again. Yeah, I'm going to read Powerless. I am so late to this book. Just like with Once Upon a Broken Heart, everyone has read it apart from me. And like with 2 of the other books, I did not read the back of it before I bought it. I simply saw someone say they like it and then I bought it because I am that easily influenced. Water break first though, because I literally cannot speak. Only the extraordinary belong in the kingdom of Ilia. My voice is still cracking. Okay, that's great. The elites have possessed power for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Ilia and shunned from society. No one knows this better than Payden Grey, an ordinary posing as a psychic to blend in with the elites. When she unsuspectingly saves one of Ilia's princes, Kai Azar, she's thrown into the Purging Trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elite's powers. If the trials and the opponents within them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will if he discovers what Payden is. Completely ordinary. Let me just double check. This is over 500 pages. It's 502 pages. That was a close call. And then the last prompt is a book with dragons. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to put this away because I'm not in the mood for dragons right now. Next book from a series I've started. I actually know which one I'm going to pick. Basically, the book that got me out of a reading slump, This Vicious Dream by Stacia Stark, is a spin-off duology to the Kingdom of Lies series, and I've read the first book in the Kingdom of Lies series, which is A Court This Cruel and Lovely, and obviously I probably should have finished this series before I read the spin-off, but I just couldn't help myself. And this book I read like 6 months ago, and reading this has made me want to go back to these characters because I kind of miss them. So I'm going to read the second book in that series, which is A Kingdom This Cursed and Empty. I'm not going to read the back of the second book because if you're planning to read the first one, the blurb of the second book kind of spoils what happens. But I will read the back of the first book just in case any of you want to add it to your TBR. Just hours after humans are born, the gods take what little power we have. In return, they protect our borders from the vicious, merciless Fae. The humans who manage to keep their power are known as the corrupt, and they are put to death. When my forbidden power is discovered, I'm forced to flee my tiny village and the life I adore. To survive, I make a desperate bargain with a mercenary, a dark and brooding man, whose face I have been seeing in my dreams. It's agreed that I'll help him into the city and he'll help me learn to wield the strange dark power I've always kept hidden. The power that may just be the key to my survival. But the ruthless mercenary is hiding secrets of his own. Secrets that threaten the safety of everyone I love. Secrets that could tear this kingdom, and perhaps even this world, apart. Obviously the characters from this book appeared in the spin-off series, and I really want to go back to this. Okay, so that was the last book added to my TBR. I'm now just going to check my Instagram story and see which book we ended up with. Okay, so those are the results. I don't know if you can see them properly, but the Book of Azrael got 67%, City of Gods and Monsters got 25%, and Reign of Shadows and Endings got 8%. That is quite a big difference, so I'm pretty sure in the next like 24 hours, the Book of Azrael will still have the most votes. So that's the book I'm going with. I feel like that was a bit confusing, so let's go through the 6 books that I picked. So we have The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole, King of Envy by Anna Huang, Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, This Woven Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi, Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and then the last one is A Kingdom This Cursed and Empty by Stacia Stark. And then I'm going to try and read Watch Me because it's a Shatter Me spin-off series. Like, how can I not read this? The Shatter Me series is what really made me addicted to reading. Like, I always loved reading books, but after reading the Shatter Me series, I was feral for books. Okay, so that is my May TBR, and from the 6 prompts that I chose today, 5 of those ended up as romantasy books. So I might do a vlog of like reading romantasy books for a week. And also, to end this video, let's just cross our fingers and pray that I get my first 5-star read in 2025, because I have not had a single 5-star read this year. Not one. Like, I've had 4.5-star reads, but those are a completely different feeling to a 5-star book. I do feel like the TBR that I ended up with this month has quite a few potential 5-star reads, so I do have high hopes. Anyways, I hope I see you guys in the next video. Bye!